Hello. In this video, I'd like to walk you through some of the features available to you in MyStatLab. Within MyStatLab, on the left side are a number of menu options. You can access the electronic copy of your textbook by clicking on Chapter Contents. This expands the menu to open up the chapters of the text. You can expand upon these by clicking on the chapter you're interested in. So if I click on Chapter 1, the menu expands now to reveal the sections of Section 1, or Chapter 1. So if I want to see Section 1.1, I click on that, and it says from Section 1.1 you can watch videos related to your text. You can open up the text and see the electronic copy, or you can work on your study plan, which is something we're not going to be using in this class. We will be using the multimedia e-text though. So if you click on that link, a new window will open up and an electronic copy of your textbook will display. And notice it opens it up at section 1.1. So from here, we can read it until we get to the next section, section 1.2. Something I want you to see from section 1.2 are these icons to the left of the header for section 1.2. For example, this first one opens up a video for the section video lecture of section 1.2. These two videos are videos that I've also linked from within Blackboard as well. So using the e-text is sort of a one-stop shop for all of your reading and video watching as well. Now, once you're done with the e-text, you can close that down. And the other thing I want you to observe from MyStatLab, this is where you're going to do your homework. A number of these other menu items are available, but I'm not going to be using them. That's not to say you can't. For example, if you open up the quizzes and tests, a number of stock pre-tests, review quizzes, and post-tests are available. These might be good for you to use to, to prepare for future quizzes or exams as we get closer and closer to this. But let's look at the homework. If I click on the homework menu item, then all of the homework problems display. Notice their due dates appear, and we already have a homework section due as early as, the first Sunday of the week of class. So let's click on section 1.2. And notice it shows you all the homework problems assigned. So if you click on one of these, it will open up the homework problem, and then you can do the homework. So in this case, the data in Table 1 are the weights in kilograms of freshman students. The X values are the weights measured in September, on and on and on. And then there's an icon here. It says click the icon to view the data table and data table 2, right, that they discussed in this story problem. So you could certainly click on that. You could see the data. You could print it, or if you're done with it, you close it and say done. And then they start asking you questions about the problem. Now, as you're working on problems, you'll notice there are a number of assists on the right-hand side, a number of buttons. You could print this homework problem, take it to a lab, work on it, on paper and pencil, or get help from a tutor, and then come back to this problem and input your answers. You could ask my instructor. You can click that button, and what it'll do is it'll send an email to this email address. I didn't even realize I had that on there. That's my personal email address. And then you can type a question saying, I'm stuck on this problem. And what it will do is it'll tell me what problem you're stuck on. It'll send a link to me capturing all the work you've performed on that problem. So there are a number of problems that will have multiple parts, and maybe you'll get through the first 2 parts and you'll have 5 remaining. It will show me everything that you've done up until the point that you got stuck. You can connect to a tutor, which you're given like 30 free minutes, and then after that you got to start paying money for that. You can get tech help, if you're having some technical issues with this problem and you can't figure out how to type in the answer, or maybe it's just not letting you type in an answer. You can use StatCrunch, which is a statistical software package that I'll be addressing a little bit later. You can open your electronic textbook to read about it, or some options will give you this feature, which is a button that says "Help me solve this problem," or sometimes another button will appear that says "Show me something similar to this problem." Because if I click "Help me solve this," what will happen is it will guide you through this problem. It'll give you hints and prompt you with questions along the way. But if you use "Help me solve this," after you're done with that feature, what will happen is it will change the problem on you. Let's look at another problem. Let me see if I can find one that has a specific type of help that I want, which is show me a similar problem. Notice for this problem, the different assists that are available to you change. So different problems have different types of assistance that can be provided to you. Yeah. And these features are really helpful because it's almost like having a tutor, right next to you. Let me go to another homework problem or a different section to see some of the other different types of helps that are available. If I go to maybe section 2.2, notice when I open up this homework assessment, some of these questions have these little icons next to them, indicating what type of help might be available. So for this problem on frequency distributions, notice there's a video available, as well as an animation showing how to solve a problem like this. Notice the "Help me solve this" button. For this problem, notice there's another button here that says View an Example, which is very similar to "Help me solve this," but it shows you a different problem and shows you how it's solved without prompting you for any information. And then, after you're done with that, the same problem that you started with is still there because the View an Example was a different problem. Whereas if you click on "Help me solve this," after you're done with that, it will change the problem on you. And these are a number of ways that MyStatLab will help you practice the homework and prepare for quizzes and tests.